Okay, so now we are going to start with our first slideshow animation. Let's create a new composition. We are going to call it as main. Let's call it as animation. Width is 1920, height is 180, frame rate is 30, and duration is 1 second long. And background color is white color, not black but white color. And simply hit OK and hit OK. Then go to choose grid and guide option and simply hit on titles section. Now let's create one ellipse. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to choose any red color over here, and by holding shift I'm going to create one ellipse. Now select this shape layer, press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically. Now select this layer, hit enter, and let's call it as mask, like this. Okay, then select this layer, hit Ctrl D, select the second layer, press S, and let's increase the size of it. Then select this layer, hit Ctrl D, select this third layer, let's increase the size of this. Then select this layer, hit Ctrl D, select this last layer, and let's increase the size of this layer, like that. Okay, so this is going to be my mask. Then simply select all of these layers and let's select this all of these layers and let's call it as red. Now select this mask layer, hit Ctrl D. So this second layer over here, let's change the color of this one to yellow, like this, and let's lock this two layers. Then select this mask 3, hit Ctrl D, select this second layer, which means fourth one, and change the color to yellow, and let's lock this layer. Then select this, hit Ctrl D, select this sixth layer, change the color to yellow and lock this. Select this, hit Ctrl D, select this eighth layer and change the color to yellow, and let's unlock this. Now all the yellow layers, I'm going to delete their fill. If you want, then you can enable this icon so you can see only this, and let's delete this fill, we don't need that. And over here I'm going to add black color for the stroke, like this. Okay, now let's select this first layer over here, go to the effect and presets panel and search for blur effect to apply, and apply this blur effect and choose Gaussian blur and increase the blurriness somewhere around like this, so we'll get something like this. So let's make this value 80. Select this Gaussian blur, hit Ctrl C, and we will apply this effect to all of these layers, like that. Okay, so if I see this, I'll get this drop shadow kind of effect, and if you want, you can select these layers and press T for opacity and you can decrease their opacity. Okay, let's make this opacity of each and every one to 50, and let's create not 50 but let's say 70, and we will create one keyframe. Now we will select these layers and we will make it a parent with this red ones. So all the yellow layers should be parent with the red one which is above that, like this one to this and this one to this. And we will select this yellow layers, hit enter, and let's call it as shadow. Okay, so simply select all of this layer, hit enter, and you can simply paste that name. Okay, so if you see, we will get something like this. Now select all the mask layers and press P for position, create one keyframe, zoom in a little bit, go to around 2 seconds, create another keyframe, go to the start, and we will simply bring this stuff out of this composition and select those layers and hit F9. Go to the graph editor, select this graph, by holding shift I'm going to move this handle over here. So if I see, I'll get this kind of animation. Then somewhere around at this point, like this, I'm going to select the shadow layers. I'll press T for opacity and let's create one keyframe each. Go to the last keyframe and let's make this opacity 0. So if I see this now, I'll get something like this with opacity is going to decrease, and select the last keyframe and hit F9. Okay, so I'm gonna get this kind of stuff. Now hit U, hit Ctrl 0. Now you can choose whatever image you want. I'm going to pick up this image over here. Now the size of image is quite big, so simply right click, go to the transform, and let's make this fit to comp. Then press S and let's increase the size of this image a little bit. It should go a little bit out of this composition. Then we will bring this up to this mask and we will choose alpha mask. Select this and hit Ctrl D. Then we will bring this above this mask layer and we will hide this mask. Select this, hit Ctrl D. We will bring this